Great Players of the Past, Episode 2, featuring Mikhai Tal. We're going to be looking at the game where he became a Grandmaster. IM to GM, that's this game. His final win in the 1957 US of SR Championship. His opponent is Bukuti Gurgenidze, something like that. No disrespect meant there. We get a modern Benoni, and what is the point of these types of openings? So sometimes you can go b5 to hack away at the center. That's personally what I do, a banco. But you can also go e6 to hack away at the center like this. Basically, this extension by white grants him a space advantage. That's the pro for white. The con for white is that black is going to go g6 and have an absolute tank of a bishop. Meanwhile, your bishop's not going to be so tanky. So that's the imbalance created. We get knight c3. Also, if white were to take with the f-pawn, if you give it a try. Pawn takes in d6. All right, we got this blockade in the center of the board. Now it's going to be easier for black to go b5 in the middle game is a move you want to play. But again, g6, bishop g7, castles always takes priority. We get knight f3, g6. Look at that, prediction of the year. A move like e5 would be a little bit premature because even though you're hacking away at the center, your knight is in the center and your king is lagging behind in the center. So black's going to apply pressure and be better. Very hard to play like this for white. Not to mention this pawn is weak. So, don't go e5 just yet as white. Bishop to e2 development. We get castles, and now how do we develop? Well, rook to e8. Apply pressure to the base of white's pawn chain. If you get rid of e4, d5 is very weak. We get knight d2. All right, white is a good player. He is in the USSR championships, not to mention they were beasts at chess back then. Chess. I keep saying chest because I've been gymming so much. Knight to d2. All right, we're adding pressure to e4, or we're adding defense to e4 as white, as black is adding pressure. This opens up the battery on the king side, disallowing any g4 movement, and the f-pawn is going to be able to move later on. Also, this knight typically wants to go to c4, so you want to stop black from playing b5, and c4 is quite a good square for the knight. That's just all the patterns I see when I play the banco, and these are similar. Knight to a6, we're breaking principle. We're putting a knight on the side of the board, just like Tal did in yesterday's video. The point, well, if bishop takes knight, these are actually good doubled pawns for black. How do you know they're good doubled pawns? Well, this open b file is going to make it hard for this dark squared bishop to move. It's kind of going to be tied down to b2. And you can't really push it to b3 because look at what happens to that diagonal. That's not great. So these pawns are very safe. They're hard to get taken. They're controlling arguably some actual good squares. So that's my pitch to you as to why they're good doubled pawns. And that's probably why white did not take it. He went rook e1. Are we going to leave this knight here? Be like, please take me. Please. No, that's hope chess. If they don't capitalize on it, you just switch plans right away. Knight c7. The point is you want to go b5. So like imagine a6, rook b8, b5, gain space on the queen side, crush. White's like, not so fast. I'm going to go a5. I'm going to deter you from playing b5. We get b6, okay, because basically you want to play a6, but then they're going to go a5, and after b5 there's en passant. So you basically just go b6 first, a6, a5, b5. There's different orders of doing that, but that's the point of b6. All right, so did Mikhai Tal do what every GM does? No, that's what made him different. He didn't fall asleep brewing this queenside attack. He's like, I want to attack right now, knight g4. Yes, I'm bluffing, but is it a bluff if you don't capitalize on it? No, then it's just a good move. So what white should have done is gone bishop takes g4. I think nowadays this is more known than back then, but you are giving a bishop pair to black, to Mikhai Tal, on a board where, granted, it's pretty closed in the center, but your bishops are good where they need to be. And this bishop is quite not good. Whatever word that is in English. Bad. That's the one. So we get bishop g4 there. Instead, we get h3. And, all right, is black just going to go knight e5 and get booted with f4? No, that wouldn't be equal. What could he do? Brilliancy number 1. Knight takes f2. A beautiful move. So, you see the board is equal, but if white takes, he's losing, and he actually does take. His only move for equality is knight to f3, but this is, equal, as we would say. Yes, white has the bishop pair now, but now black's up 2 pawns, count them real quick, and this is not so great for white. I would argue black would have a fun time in that position. So, white agreed, and he took the knight, but now he's losing. How do you win as black? Queen h4, check. That's the way to start it. This king has to go to f1 so he doesn't lose this rook on e1. We get bishop to d4, threatening checkmate in white. Will white... threatening checkmate in white. Threatening checkmate in 1. Will white see it? See? You're always thinking ahead. Sometimes you stumble over your words, or at least I do. Knight d1 does stop checkmate in 1. Find brilliancy number 2. This is a hidden gem of a game, especially if you find this move. Queen takes h3. Boom. Look at that. A queen sacrifice. The point is if pawn takes, bishop takes. I'm so happy I found this game. I did some research to find the game where he became a grandmaster. This was his final win to get the title. Also, in the 1957 championship match, there's 22 rounds. He scored 14 out of 22, came half a point ahead of second, third, and fourth. 22 classical games in one tournament. They were built different back then. Nowadays, they play a couple too many blitz games, and they're like, oh, my back hurts. Need to go home. Do you want to just all be winners? Let's all have participation trophies. None of that. So, well, I mean, ironically, participation trophies, USSR, kind of like that. But, yeah, communists, what are you going to do? Not the greatest. Bishop to f3, blocking the checks on the f-file, consolidating, creating an escape for the king. We get queen to h2, threatening queen to g1, which is pretty lethal. So we got knight to e3. He's just cutting off the vision of the connection to g1. And what do you do here? Some of you might say bishop a6. You are correct. He doesn't play that, but bishop a6 is just as good as the move he plays. He kind of just switched the move order. He plays f5 first, trying to blow everything open. White stops the check, consolidates, protects his knights. He blows open the e and the f-file, right? That's what you want to do. If white's king is on the e and the f-file, probably want to blow him open. Bishop to a6, all right, pinning the knight. And then rook e5. Tal is like, take my rook. I promise you the rules in chess allow for that. Again, that was a joke. The rules in chess do not allow for that because that is a pin. So that rook is immovable. But you know, when you give a piece that can't be taken, it's just something a little psychological about that. All right, rook to a3, guarding from the side. Is that what you want to do? No, because it's better to attack from in front, defend from behind. So black doubles up his rooks on the e-file. We got bishop to d2. Find brilliancy number 3. I'll give you some time if you want to pause the video. Knight takes d5. Boom. Point, if knight takes queen g1 is just checkmate. Count it. 1, 2, 1. So if bishop takes, which is what happened, you still go rook takes, or not still. Now you go rook takes. If they go knight takes, what I meant was it's still checkmate in one move, so they cannot take. Did I move too fast? Knight takes rook. Queen here, checkmate, because everything is covered. Very good coordination by him. He was pretty good at chess. King to e2. All right, what do you do now? Well, I don't know what you do, but he took the knight. Bishop takes e3, opening up the d file now, exploiting the pin furthermore. We get rook takes, bishop takes knight, and white's like, I've had enough. I resign. You are so mean. Because if queen takes bishop, queen takes pawn, king is forced to go to d1, and this is just check and mate. What else is there? Not much. There is not much else. I guess you could go king d1, but now you're not even up material, and I'm going to say I'm not going to play this out while I continue to play it out, so I'm hands off the board. We're done. Black is winning. You're up 3 pawns. Your name is Mikhai Tal. White cannot make a move. I hope you guys enjoyed this game. I certainly did. I think this was a forgotten gem, unless it's a popular game and I just don't know about it. So, give your recommendations who you want to see next. Thank you as always for watching. Have a great day. Peace.